This episode of WDW Today is being sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And with 2010 upon us, it's now time to look forward to your trips in 2010. And perhaps you're saying, man, I don't have anything planned really for Walt Disney World trips. Now would be a great time to contact MEI and Mouse Fan Travel and have them help you book your trip to Walt Disney World. Be it a short little trip on the weekend or a long trip, perhaps. Doesn't matter. The travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel can help you plan that trip. Visit them online at www.mousefantravel.com.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Wednesday, January 6, 2010, and this is episode 665 of WDW Today. I think it is, at least. I'm Matt Hotchberg of StudioCentral.com. Joining me on today's show is Len Testa, co-author of the unofficial guide to Walt Disney World. And Len, I know Christmas is like a week or two ago already at this point, but, I mean, really, there's nothing wrong with drinking eggnog and rum, really, at this point of the year, right? It's so good.
I actually had eggnog in my refrigerator from last Christmas that is still in my refrigerator now, and apparently, because of the alcohol content, it is still safe to drink. is that amazing? You could go around the world. I think this is how eggnog came to the United States. Actually, is in ships with like the Mayflower.
The alcohol is what's keeping it like still good.
Apparently so. It's amazing.
Yeah, those little parasites are. I mean, it's kind of what keeps Scopo alive, also. You know, just
that and formaldehyde. Yeah, exactly.
Formaldehyde. Also joining us on today's show is Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hi, Matt. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Even though it's a weekend.
Also joining us on today's show is the fabulous Annette Owens, a manager of customer relations and group services for MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. Welcome, Annette.
Hey, it's amazing how fast this New Year's just plugging right along.
It's already the 6th. Where has the time gone? We're answering your listener questions today. We're going to start with an email from Michael from Westminster, Maryland. He writes, hello, gentlemen. My family and I will be taking a trip to Disney World soon. And it'll be our first trip for our kids, ages 9, 7, and 5. I've been in planning mode for several months now, soaking up everything on the web and poring over the unofficial guide, my favorite resource. I've recently been catching up on WDW Today podcasts.
Extra ding.
A little delayed, but there it is.
Extra ding. That's a second ding.
We're looking at a trip in November, and we'll be attending Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party when we're there. I know that we'll be visiting the Magic Kingdom on multiple days while we're there, and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party takes place several days during the week we are visiting. My question is, should we avoid the Magic Kingdom on days when Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is scheduled to take place, or is it better to go to the Magic Kingdom only in the morning and do another park in the afternoon or evening?
If you're going to get the park hopper option, then yeah, I think it's...
Before you say that, he says, we are not staying on property, but we do have park hopper passes. So we could leave the Magic Kingdom to avoid the crowds that might be there for the event.
Well, there you go. Yeah, then I think it's worthwhile. So I think it's worthwhile to go to the Magic Kingdom then. We think that people who don't have the park hopper option tend to avoid the Magic Kingdom on days when it closes early because they're not getting a full day's worth of use out of their admission. So they'll go to like Epcot, which is open for 12 hours, right? Or 12 and a half hours.
Right.
So it makes sense to start that in the Magic Kingdom early and then hop somewhere else later in the day.
Yeah. Hey, Len, speaking of the unofficial guide, I just want to mention that I've started a new trend that when I'm in the parks and I see someone in the unofficial guide, I take a photo of it and post it on Twitter. But I think it's kind of creepy, isn't it? I mean,
that's very creepy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just recognizing their good taste in books.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Are there ability to lift weights as they walk around the park?
Exactly.
Also joining us. No one's also
joining us.
What? We starting over again?
The unofficial guide is joining us now.
Hello, I'm the unofficial guide for 2010.
How are you, guide?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Oh God, please, we're not encouraging this.
Hiya, Len.
Look what happens when we pass around the 2008.
Usually the book doesn't start talking to Len until after he starts drinking.
Actually, today I finished early this week I finished the Disneyland Paris chapters for the book.
His name is Myron.
Lord.
Anyway, next email is from Lisa, who writes, first, I enjoy your show. Especially at work, it makes my day go by so much faster and brings back fond memories of our last trip to Disney back in 2006. This was our first family vacation. Thankfully, we were able to go with my entire family, my husband, and our kids, my parents, and my sisters. It was a great time, and we did book a princess lunch at Epcot in Norway.
Did someone say book?
Book?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
Listening
me.
to your podcast about the castle dining, I'm glad we did the dining at Epcot because we could order what we wanted with the salad bar, but we were also able to try new foods. The kids were able to get their pictures taken with different princesses and their autographs. The seats were great, and the service was excellent, and not just the wait staff, but the princesses interacted with each child at the table. At the time, my son could care less about the princesses. He saw Lightning McQueen and Mater, so he was happy. Our daughter was in awe the entire time. The only princess that my son liked was Cinderella, and that was the only one that he would say hi to and get his picture with. With Cinderella beside him, we asked why only Cinderella. His answer was she was his girlfriend.
Yeah, just,
That's so sweet.
Cinderella bent down and gave him a kiss on the cheek and told him that he was her Prince Charming. It was great. My question is, Epcot still having the princess meals? And if so, why don't you talk about it? If they no longer offer the princess dining at Epcot, then why not? No, they certainly
they still do, yeah.
I mean,
I thought we've covered it enough times, but apparently not.
yeah, when we talked about it probably in earlier episodes when it was new a couple of years ago. But it's still, I mean, Len, what are your thoughts on the Epcot restaurant Akershus that has the princess meal over there?
Princess Storybook Dining at Restaurant Akershus.
Right.
I've been there for breakfast 2 or 3 times. It's a little bit slow in the times that I've went. The service is a little bit slow. I mean, the food is fine. It's the standard Disney food you get everywhere. So, waffles and eggs and bacon and sausage and the used pastries and the like, fruit and the like. It's really all about princess characters there. So if you like that sort of thing, that's really the only big reason to go. Other than that, I mean, it's a relatively expensive breakfast. Like for a family of 4, it's essentially groceries for a week.
Yeah.
Or breakfast, whichever you like. So,
I would say that I think we prefer Restaurant Akershus for a princess meal as opposed to, like, say, Cinderella's Royal Table.
True.
Yes.
It's a little bit easier to get into for one, and not nearly as frenetic as Cinderella's. Not much running around, not so much intense sort of parents, sort of, oh my god, I'm in the castle, I'm gonna freak out type thing,
Right. Cool.
Awesome.
Next email is from Steve Bernhardt of Appleton, Wisconsin.
Steve!
Greetings, gentlemen. After running the past 3 Walt Disney World marathons, I've decided to step up and complete the Goofy Challenge in 2010. Knowing that Goofy usually sells out very quickly, I registered online the day after returning home from the 2009 marathon to secure my spot.
Wow.
Shortly thereafter, the Goofy sold out as usual, and all was normal. Well, as you're probably aware, Disney reopened the registration for the 2010 Goofy Challenge, thus doubling the amount of participants, 7,500
Oh, I didn't know that.
for 2010.
Wow.
7,500.
Yes. My question, do you know why, besides money, Disney reopened the registration for the 2010 Goofy Challenge? My theory is they've been having problems selling out the marathon, and Disney research showed more people would just participate in the marathon if the Goofy Challenge was available to them. Just a theory. Do you have any insider reasoning for the reopening of the Goofy?
That's got to be it. That attendance is down for either of the races. I mean, that's amazing. 7,500 people for both races.
Is that? I mean,
That's
as a non-runner, that's an impressive number?
That's like half of the half marathon people, and then more than half of the marathon people are doing both.
Wow. See, I don't understand why there would be
ew.
people interested in the Goofy but not interested in only one of the other races. I would think that would be the opposite. Well,
Well, you get medals. You get medals for both and for that. So you get 3 medals for running 2 races.
Oh, more metal for the buck.
Yeah.
That's right. But
Yeah.
I mean, it still seems crazy. I mean,
Running
2 days in a row.
the 39.3 miles in 2 days.
yeah, just a little bit.
I don't know if I could do that on a bet. I mean, I would have to seriously. That's like 20 miles a day. Nah, that'd be tough. That'd be
Yeah.
hard.
It's rough.
Wow.
I know some of our listeners have done it.
I did my first leg workout in like 2 months last week, and I couldn't walk up the stairs without assistance. It was like
You got one of those electric chairs that goes up.
I seriously considered just sleeping downstairs because it was easier.
There you go. Half the least resistance.
You know,
The way to go.
this catch isn't that bad.
Next email is from Jamie Searcy of Johnson, Rhode Island.
JB.
Writes, I have a question that I don't think has been asked before, but I'm hoping that you can help me feel more optimistic about a trip my family has planned for late August. My sons are 8 and 4, and up until now, my 4-year-old has been limited to pretty much the Fantasyland type and other slow-moving attractions. We measured him the other day, and he's just over 39 inches with shoes on. With shoes, he'll just make it over 40 inches, and that opens up a whole new world for him. For example, Soarin', Test Track, Splash Mountain, and Star Tours, to name a few. So here's my question. Len, have you tested this yet? Is the measuring stick, quote unquote, they use exactly 40 inches? Meaning, could a 37-inch child put on 3-inch heels and get into Soarin'? Or do you know if the height is actually padded to offset the shoe lift? Do they want kids to literally be 40 inches tall or just clear the 40-inch stick no matter how they do it?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't think, and I don't know what Disney's motivation is, but my guess is that it's a 40-inch height requirement that includes whatever shoes you're wearing.
That'd be my guess.
It's got to, because a lot of kids wear flops and stuff. That would give them a 2-inch disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right.
So So no, I don't think they're. I don't think they're doing that.
You got to.
And I know even when they've measured my kids in the past, when they had the big ponytail on the top of the head and stuff, they didn't squish that all the way down either.
Oh, so there you go, Jamie. Have your boy grow out a nice ponytail, and
There you go, ponytail on the top of the head.
you can go ride the ride, and then afterwards you can join a nice 90s punk rock band.
Shoe lifts.
Next email is from Evan from Texas, who writes, Dear guys and Annette, I'll be at Walt Disney World during spring break of 2010, and it took a lot of persuading my parents to do this trip. When we went to the world when I was 2 and 10, and now I'm 14, so I think my parents are getting anxious of Disney. Anyway, my next planned trip is when I graduated from high school, probably October or December 2013. How can I start planning for that trip when I get back home for the upcoming one?
Start saving money, man. Mowing lawns. What do they do? What are they, like, dust deserts? What do they do in Texas?
Deserts.
What are they?
Dig for oil. Start
Catching
digging for
coyotes or
oil.
whatever you guys do in the Southwest.
They probably work at Chick-fil-A. Is it me or you? Is there always a kid who's working at Chick-fil-A who looks like he's probably 13 years old?
It's because you can get a job at Chick-fil-A at 15.
Can you really?
Yes, you can.
How do you know that?
Because I have a 15-year-old that was looking a job.
There you go. And did the 15-year-old get a job at Chick-fil-A?
No, because there was already one 15-year-old working there. So there was
so
one
you can
spot
have a
for
maximum
15-year-old.
of one 15-year-old.
There's
Yeah,
a
the
quota.
15-year-old labor union over is pretty strict about who
Maximum
they
of
can hire.
one. That's interesting.
Excuse me, you have too many 15-year-olds here. You'll have to get rid of one.
Also, for the upcoming trip, my dad is very disappointed that his 14-year-old starting quarterback is obsessed with Disney. So how can I show my dad the side of Disney without the magical princesses that I enjoy? He's not that into golf, and I'd prefer for it to be low cost. Try the Breathless. Go out and take him out on the Breathless
Oh,
there.
he
and
said
go for
low
an afternoon
cost.
show.
He said low cost.
He said, I know,
Well, no,
low
you go
cost, and Matt goes directly to
Yeah,
Breathless.
try
No,
the Grand
Breathless, go the-
Floridian. Stay at
go
the
the-
Grand Floridian.
If you go for the afternoon one, it's only $99. That's not terrible.
For 13-year-old kid, $99 is a heck of a lot.
That's
Maybe
a lot of
that's
cars to
awesome.
wash.
That is. Could you imagine?
All right. So what are some other suggestions for his dad? I mean, you go to the studios. There's plenty of non-princessy attractions over there.
Yeah,
There's
that's
nothing wrong
true.
with that, but
Terror, rock
I
and
mean,
roll.
I think again, the reason why I think your dad Evan would enjoy Walt Disney World is the fact that it's a good family vacation that the whole family can be a part of, and as you Evan get older, I think it becomes
and you don't have to entertain everyone because the attractions will do the entertaining for you.
right. It's something you can do as a family. I think that's important, and certainly I think a lot of our listeners would agree that that's what a Walt Disney World vacation is great about. Is that even when kids get older, it's still a place that they still want to go, even when you're Len's age and still wants
And
to go.
there's lots of family stuff to do, outside the parks. I mean, you've got the water parks where the family can all ride together and rafts, and you can race your dad on some of the water rides and stuff. So you've got that. You've got a little putt-putt. There's some things around there that you can do that still can challenge each other.
Cool. Next email is from Mark from Kettering, Ohio. Who writes, I've sent a question in before, but we've just recently returned from our first road trip from Kettering to Tampa for a family vacation, which prompted this question.
Wow.
Traveling down I-75 as we're nearing the Georgia-Florida border, the roadside was littered with signs promising $25 Disney World tickets. My question is there any truth to these promises? We didn't stop at any of these locations as time didn't allow for it, but with a family of 6, $25 tickets doesn't sound too bad if there aren't any hidden strings.
You had something's up. You either have to sit through a timeshare presentation or something.
Yeah, there's
A lot
usually,
of times it's timeshare.
yeah, it's timeshare presentations, or worst case, you have tickets that are acquired illegally.
Yeah,
according to
non-legally.
statistics. Yeah, exactly. So basically, yeah, it's there's no one who's just sitting there going, yeah, we're selling $25 tickets. Okay, here's $25. Here's a ticket. It doesn't work that way.
There's no such thing as a free lunch.
That's right. If it's too good to be true, it is. And with Disney World admission, definitely. Although I will say that my dad used to, when I was a kid, we always used to, he'd spend a day and he would go to one of those hard sells and he would just say, nope, 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 nope. Except for one year when he actually did buy. But other than that, he went every other year and took the tickets. But, it's high pressure. It's a waste of a day. And yeah, most of the time it's just a 1-day ticket anyway. It's not like it's like, annual passes they're giving away.
I mean, so how many do you get? Do you get one?
I think you get one per family member or something like that. They may have changed over the years. Have any of you ever done it?
No. Bob did it once, but I would never.
I did it years and years ago. We did it years ago, but we weren't staying on property and we were down for a week and had a day off and went, psh,
Yeah. The one thing
we'll go spend 3 hours,
Yeah.
Only 3 hours?
It was, yeah, we walked in and said, you've got 3 hours. That's the requirement. We're here for 3 hours.
And then, so did you get one ticket per person or one ticket for
Yeah, it was
each
one
family?
per person.
Next email is from Aziz, who writes, "What's up, fellas?" And Annette, if she's on the show. This is Aziz Parky, a.k.a. the big dog of Disney. Lenny totally stole your title.
The big dog of Disney?
That's right. That's how I have you on my iPhone. Anyway,
That's awesome. Thank you.
Mine
I'm
says
batting
Russians.
1,000 with you guys as far as questions answered on the show. Let's keep that average perfect. I'm sure your superior cognition and vast experience with everything that is Walt Disney World will prove this conundrum to be nothing more than an elementary enigma. I'm visiting the world in September. I have an 8:10 reservation at Ohana for breakfast. I'm going to Epcot that day also. The park opens at 9. What I want to know is, can I park at the Polynesian for breakfast, eat, and then catch the monorail to Epcot and come back that night to get my car?
Sure.
If not, what would you suggest? We've ridden the monorail to Epcot only to the Magic Kingdom, and we saw this as an opportunity to do so. I know you're going to answer this question in advance, so I'd like to say, in my best Elvis voice, thank you very much.
Entirely possible.
So he went this past September. Did you catch that?
I think Aziz called into the live show with this. Isn't this the famous
Yeah.
It's the Polly parking guy,
question?
isn't it?
This was the Polly question.
Yes, and we have
So the question is, could you do it? Yes, you could.
should you do it?
I'm not taking sides in that. I mean,
See, Aziz called into the live show. I forget which one. Do you remember which one it
I
was?
don't even know if it's faster. I mean, if you've already got your car at the Poly, it might be faster to just drive.
That's what I was thinking. It's got to be faster to just drive than to go around the monorail to go to TT to
That's
go
what I'm
change the
thinking.
monorail.
You could
It's-
walk to the
especially
TTC.
when you're coming back.
You could walk
Oh,
to the
what a
TTC.
pain.
Exactly.
What's that, Mike?
You could walk to the TTC.
Well, you could.
I mean, walk to the Poly from the TTC.
or
Like
vice
park
versa.
at the TTC.
Right. I would park at the TTC. Walk to. I mean, the Poly's right there. You walk right there. Boom, you're there. You come back up. Boom, you're on the monorail. Wherever you gotta go.
Well, there you go. A moral conundrum solved.
Oh no.
But just watch those extra magic hours too, because if you have them over in Epcot, you might be walking to your car over
Yeah.
in the TTC.
Next
that's
email is from Beth, listener since episode number 1. I'm the one who wrote in about Gravlax.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
comes
Wow.
full circle.
Yes, Beth
Wow.
was the one who emailed us a question, and our answer was already wrong by the time it came out. This was episode.
That's episode 1, amazingly.
Yeah. She's from Orlando, Florida. And she writes, "Hi guys, maybe you noticed this in the Orlando Sentinel, but just in case, 2 Walt Disney World restaurants were honored for their Mexican food. The 2 restaurants where there's a whole article she sent me over here. The San Angel Inn in Epcot,
Really?
and I know that's surprising actually. And
My grill?
Mayan Grill. It's gotta be.
And no, Mexican Grill, Los Generos, Takira. Where's the second one? Where's the linebacker?
Read the
Name 'em?
article.
Tortilla La Mexicana on Oak Ridge in Orlando, La Perla, Tequila Los Primos in Ocoee, Los Generales Mexican Grill, and
What
that's
channel
on
is this? Am I on?
Rubio's Real Mexican, San Jose Original Mexican.
Is this thing on?
I don't see the other one there, Heather, but it's interesting though that San Angelo got recognized as good Mexican food.
Huh.
Perhaps that speaks about the lack of good Mexican food in Orlando.
Yeah, it's relatively speaking.
I'm just not a big fan of it.
It's
I just
okay.
don't.
It's all
I mean,
right.
I've had good Mexican, and
I
that's
will
not-
say that I did have mole there once, and it was the best mole I've had anywhere. I like mole.
What is mole?
Mole is a very complex Mexican sauce. There's like more than 20 ingredients in it, and apparently you have to cook it all day or for days on end to get it right. There's like 24 spices in it. It goes over chicken, mostly chicken dishes, and supposed to be really complex, and the best one I've ever had has been there.
Okay.
Everyone else usually buys pre-bought stuff, and apparently they make their own. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. It's not store-bought.
Interesting. Next email is from Katie Smith. Writes,
Wait a minute. Hey, let's wrap this up so I can go to Taco Bell real quick.
Katie writes, hello, boys and Annette. My family and I will be arriving in the world January 23rd, 2010. We're renting a vacation home offsite for the second time since last time we did this. Our vacation home was so much better for us and our extended family.
Nice.
Since we'll be arriving in the morning and can't check into our vacation home until the afternoon, we're planning on going to downtown Disney for a while. So my first question is, have any of you tried Paradiso 37? It seems like they offer some fairly familiar fare, which I think would please all members of the bland-tasted budded family. Any thoughts on giving it a whirl? That in itself is why I don't like it, but evidently it works for your family.
Is it really bland?
You know, it's just the one thing I will say about Paradiso 37 that I've heard that's very good is their choice of margaritas is supposed to be very good. I have not had a chance to check them out.
They're arriving in the morning, Matt.
Nothing says like vacation, like starting with a margarita.
And all I'm saying is I like the way you think, man.
if I may quote Alan Jackson, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
It's exactly it.
I would check it out. I like most restaurants. I mean, check it out. What do you got to lose, right?
Yeah.
Second question is regarding characters and flight experience that is nearby. Have any of you done it? Does doing this activity in person do it any justice than the photos of the online show?
Our photographers have done it.
Do they like it?
It's fun, yeah. But you go up like 400 feet from what I understand, and you go pretty high.
Yeah.
How long did it wait to get on there?
Actually, they went on a day when it was fairly windy, so no one else had the guts to go on it. So they walked on.
We've mentioned this on previous shows, but Newell, Annette, and myself tried to go on it one time, and
The clouds were too low.
it was an epic fail.
Yeah.
Epic fail.
Not to be had again.
Lastly, I was checking out some menus, and I know in the past you've all mentioned that anytime you want to order off a kid's menu, it should not be a problem. But on All Ears Net, the kids menu specifically states ages 3 to 9. Is it a problem if a 27-year-old tries to order off the kiddie section?
In fact, I was 41 when I did it last month.
No, we've done it many times.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Nope. Next email is from Marty Doherty of Chicago.
Marty.
Writes, hi, gang. Love the show. I have a question regarding your favorite and least favorite deluxe resorts and why. In episodes 434 and 515, you just skim over a bunch without really rating them in your own opinions. To help your answers, let's assume you're addressing people that will spend a fair amount of time at the resort, staying in non-upgraded standard rooms, non-concierge service. Keep costs as a consideration since none of them are equal. And since having or not having kids can sway this answer as well. Let's assume it's simply me and my brother, 2 single guys in their 30s. So favorite and least favorite deluxe resorts.
So the things you really got to consider here are, the rooms, the room quality, the amenities at the resort, the price and the location. Those are the big 4.
Right.
Right. The thing is at the lower end of the cost scale, so the Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Wilderness Lodge, the rooms are much smaller. The resorts are more remote than the others. And for standard rooms, they're really like glorified moderates.
Right. I would agree with that.
Although the pool at the Animal Kingdom Lodge is pretty good, and the dining at the Animal Kingdom Lodge is pretty good, but there's not a whole heck of a lot to do outside the hotel itself.
What's your favorite deluxe resort in it?
It depends on location and what I'm looking for.
Uh-huh.
I think overall the Poly is my favorite, especially if you're talking standard rooms around the board. Really and truly, I just love that resort. I love the new, I guess if you could still call it new, redos on the room. The other place I would go is over, we stay there quite a bit, the Beach Club, over that area over by Epcot. If you're going to be spending a lot of time at Epcot, that would be my choice.
Yeah, those are my 2 choices as well.
I knew you would like what I said, Lynn.
Exactly the
I need to start working for you.
Oh, will you two
Research for you. I don't even have to research. I can just tell you.
It's these 2 right here. Yeah, those are the 2 best. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. Poly is my favorite. All things, with those considerations that we mentioned. The problem, it's not that I don't dislike the Animal Kingdom Lodge or the Wilderness Lodge. I just think for the price, like Len mentioned, since the rooms are kind of over, glorified moderates. If you're going to pay for deluxe rates, you should get there are better options out there for that.
They are
rate.
less expensive than the Beach Club, right? I mean, a concierge room at the Wilderness Lodge or Animal Kingdom Lodge is much less expensive than a concierge room at the Beach Club. But
right. But you know what? If you're staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, don't you feel like you definitely have to have a car?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
So automatically that ups the price.
Especially with the addition of Kidani Village, it makes the bus
yeah.
series even worse over there than it was before.
True that.
Marty adds, also, I have the opportunity to stay at a studio in the new DVC pad at the Contemporary at a fairly decent rate. Any thoughts on this since it's...
Ooh, check out our... Didn't we do a previous show on this last month? Dear God, smallest freaking studio rooms in the world.
Yeah, you
And didn't he say it was 2 30-year-olds going? Remember, it's a bed and a couch.
Oh my God!
remember
Yeah,
that.
so it's a bed and one bed and one pull-out.
It's a grill and a cooler?
I know. So, dude, small.
And a bad bathroom.
The rooms are small.
Wow.
So, anyway.
Okay. Well, it's time for our last email of the day, and that means I'm going to give Mr. Newell 3 emails to choose from. One will be answered today. The other 2 go back into the email queue to be answered later. Are you ready, Mike?
Yeah, as long as they're not about Norway or Tinkerbell pins or Christina Testa, I think we'll be okay. Let's go.
Okay, Christine. Well, let me delete the Christine emails.
Hold on.
Okay, well, they're all gone. All right, Mike, here are your options here. 2 quickies. Missed the live show.
wait. Okay.
Missed the live show, but I have a doctor's note. Or question about Annette.
Wow. Sorry, Annette.
I just caught my breath.
Last email today is from Bill, who writes, "Hey, Matt, Mike, Len, and the fabulous Annette.
Bill?
Bill, Bill, not Phil.
God, we're scoping when you need them.
I know.
I just downloaded your great podcast directly from iTunes, but I thought I would stop at your website and see what might be happening there. It doesn't look much different from the last time I visited the site, so I'm wondering, when will we be adding a caricature for Annette to the homepage? Adding her
we totally should.
behind the podcast webpage. Thanks for giving me the world." Well, that's it. We have time for this show.
Thank you for writing that nice email. And what's next on the show, Matt?
Annette is,
There's reasons why Annette's not there, so let's just leave it at that.
yeah, let's just say Fox charges a lot of money for us to have her on the show to begin with, and
That's right.
we can't afford her, so...
Exactly.
That's right.
I just changed my hair way too much for them to keep up with the
Yeah,
That's right. We're just too damn lazy to keep up with maintaining
all the hairdos.
That's right. Well, that's it for us today. Don't forget that this episode of WDW Today has been sponsored by MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And, I know that a lot of our listeners love Annette. And you know what? There's lots of other great travel agents at MEI and Mouse Fan Travel that can help you plan that trip to Walt Disney World. Be it Annette who's planning your trip, or Colleen, or Colleen, depending on how you pronounce it, Stephanie, or any of the other talented agents, Deborah, and they do such a great job. So have that one of them help you plan that trip to Walt Disney World, and then you can write into us and tell us about how great it was, and then demand that their picture be put on the WDW Today homepage. So check them out at www.mousefantravel.com. Find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments. Visit the WDW Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, and Mike Newell, and of course, the fabulous Annette Owens. Thank you, Annette, for being on the show. I'm Matt Hodgberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Awesome.
Oh, and thank you, Unofficial God.
Oh, that's me.
Do the bit.
That's my cue. Sorry.
Stupid Judy, stupid energy.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.